Hello viewers, in this video I'm going to talk about the hole concentration inside an intrinsic semiconductor. So the number of holes inside an intrinsic semiconductor that exist inside the valence band I'm going to calculate in this today's video. And in the previous video you can see the same intrinsic carrier concentration, which is the number of electrons inside the conduction band. So that exercise was related to the electron number in conduction band, and this exercise is going to be the number of holes inside the valence band. For intrinsic case, actually this hole number and electron number per unit volume is same, right? So that part I'm going to do later. So today I'm going to proceed with the derivation of hole concentration. Please recall the number of holes or the number of electrons, how you count. See, earlier I have used Dn to denote the number of electrons. Now I am going to use Dp. Dp represents the number of holes which lie between E and E plus D energies. So if you take the holes having energies E and E plus DE, of course, inside the valence band. These holes exist inside the valence band. So their number is what I'm going to call as dP. And if I want to know the P is nothing but integral of dP over valence band. And what are the limits of the valence band? Well, valence band extends from zero energy to EV, which is the valence band edge. So if you recall the energy band diagram, this is position R, this is energy E. So in that, this edge represents EC and this edge represents EV, valence band. So starting from zero, holes exist here. These are the holes, right? So these holes, if you want to calculate, you must simply integrate from the energy lowest, that is zero, till the energy maximum, which is EV, inside the valence band. So this is the way in which we proceed. And already we did this in the previous class for electrons. So there what we did is, in order to calculate this, we have simply multiplied the density of states function z of E dash. I hope you remember this. Density of states is actually representing the number of energy states available per unit volume. And when you multiply by E, dE, this is going to tell you the number of states available within energy interval E and E plus dE per unit volume. And there is no guarantee that all states are filled. So we must multiply by the corresponding probability. So you must multiply with the probability of hole. Earlier we have used probability of electron. Now we are talking about hole. Now what is the probability of hole? Generally, hole and electron are mutually exclusive. So in this valence band, if an electron is occupied, you don't call it as a hole. Once if an electron leaves the site and make a jump, suppose that there is an electron here. If it takes a jump to conduction band, so it leaves a hole, right? So whenever electron stays there, it can't produce any hole, but whenever the electron leaves that site, it is going to create a hole. So the absence of electron is what you call as presence of hole. So absence of electron is presence of hole. So the probability of hole is nothing but absence of electron. As you know, f of E is the probability of presence of electron. Probability of presence for electron. So obviously 1 minus f of E is going to be the probability of absence of electron, which is nothing but probability for hole, right? Okay, so we'll calculate this 1 minus f of E. First, let me proceed with this. Later, I can substitute it here within the appropriate limits and I'll proceed further. So as we know, f of E, 1 minus f of E is nothing but 1 minus 1 by exponential of E minus EF by kBT. We know this is the Fermi function at T Kelvin plus 1. So this is the term. What we can do is we can just cross multiply this term, this into this. So it is going to be e power x plus 1 here and minus 1. So plus 1 and minus 1 gone. Or if you want, you can write one more step here. So it is exponential of E minus EF by kBt plus 1 and then minus 1 divided by exponential of E minus EF by kBt plus 1. So this term multiplied here and subtracted 1 from there. Anyway, this 1 is gone. We are left with e power E minus EF by kBt divided by e power E minus EF by kBt plus 1. So what I can do is, as ones are gone, I can simply pull this term to the denominator. There is a reason for doing like this. So what I'll do is, I'll write this as 1 by this term brought down. So this divided by e power this. So same term, it is 1 plus 1 divided by this. So which is exponential of, as it is 1 by e, so I write it as e power minus x, which is nothing but minus e minus ef divided by kBt. So I'll write it like this. Now let's pay attention. At room temperature, generally if you consider this intrinsic semiconductor at room temperature, let us say 300 Kelvin, what happens there is, if you calculate the kBt, you know Boltzmann constant Kb is of the order of 10 power minus 23 joule per Kelvin, and temperature as it is 300, it is of the order of 10 power 2, right? So this thing will be 10 power minus 21 order kBt. And similarly, if you calculate the E minus EF, right? You know, the energies which we are talking about here is the energies of the electron here in this. As the electron is lying inside the valence band, definitely if you consider the EF means the topmost filled energy level at absolute zero. So only valence band gets filled at absolute zero. So definitely whatever energies we are talking about here are less than the EF, right? And typical order is generally, you know, semiconductor has a band gap of 1 electron volt order. So typically this difference is going to be of the order of 1 electron volt. This order is 1 electron volt, right? So 1 electron volt is nothing but 10 power minus 19 joule. This is 10 power minus 21 joule, right? And remember, this is E minus EF. E minus EF, if you take, generally EF will be above this EV, because EV is the topmost filled energy level at absolute zero. So definitely E minus EF. So energies of electrons are inside this valence band, whereas the Fermi level is above this EV, sorry. Fermi level is above this EV, and all energies of electrons are below this EV. So this term is going to be negative, right? So I will be writing a negative sign here, and this order is minus 10, 10 power minus 19 joule, right? So definitely, if you consider this term, it is going to be E minus EF. So what is the order? If we just calculate that, so exponential of minus E minus EF. Minus E minus EF is nothing but 10 power 19 minus 19 divided by denominator is 10 power minus 21. So you know minus minus gone. So we are left with 10 power minus 19 by 10 power minus 21, which is about e power 100. It's just order only. I'm not saying it is e power 100. So definitely it is large. And you know this term is added to 1, right? It is much greater than 1. And hence in the denominator 1 plus this term, you can simply take it as this term, because it is a very large term plus 1, still large, right? So therefore this term, let me write it here, as I don't have space, I will erase it in a moment. So this term is going to be just, you know, 1 by e power this. So 1 by exponential of minus e minus ef by kBt, right? Or as it is 1 by e power minus x, you can simply write it as e power x, right? It goes to the numerator as e power x. So it is exponential of e minus ef divided by kBt. So this is the term which you can write as a 1 minus f of e. So the probability of hole is nothing but this particular term. This is the probability of hole. Please remember this. And please pause the video. I am going to erase some portions, right? Now, this term P is nothing but integral 0 to EV. Lowest energy is 0, topmost energy is EV. Z of E dash. You know, Z of E dash is gamma times E dash. You know, gamma is a constant which you have already used in the previous derivations. Let me remind you, gamma is nothing but 1 by 2 pi square into 2m by h cross square whole power 3 by 2 into multiplied by E dash under square root. This is a product actually, this into this. So we have to write this E dash. And let me recall the energy diagram once again. Whatever we did for electron, same logic is applicable here. There, in earlier case, we took the electron like this. So if you write this as K, if you write this as E, so this is going to be the EC. So energies of electron in conduction band are taken as a parabolic approximation. So the parabola's lowest point like here. So whatever energy of the electron, if you call this as energy E, so the same point E, if you write it here, this is what I am calling as E dash. So this is E dash, and if you take the ground here, this is the lowest level. So with respect to 0, its height is what you call as E. This is energy, right? So you can clearly conclude that in this case, the E is nothing but EC plus E dash. That was the conduction band case. Now, if you apply the same logic for valence band, you know, in valence band, this is EV, and once again, here we are going to have a parabola of this sort, and this is called parabolic approximation. So all energies in valence band are once again measured with respect to EV, valence band edge. So here this point will be 0, and whatever energy you take here, this energy is going to be our E dash for valence band. See, this is valence band and this is for conduction band. And we are not going to consider this. This is a recap of whatever I did in the previous class. And this is E dash. And of course, if you want to write the same energy E in valence band, this is going to be just EV is equal to E dash plus E. So this energy with respect to ground is E, and this energy with respect, I mean, the say here, let us suppose that electron is sitting over here. This is the location of electron. Of course, electron is not physically sitting, but this is the energy of the electron. So the energy of the electron with respect to conduction band edge is E dash. So for this Z of E, I mean the density of states, all energies are measured from here, either this edge or that edge. That's why I'm taking the energy as E dash here. And in terms of E, it is going to be E dash plus E is equal to EV. This is the relation, right? So I'll make a small manipulation here. So I'll write this P as P is equal to integral 0 to EV valence band edge into Z of E dash. You know, Z of E dash is already density of states. So this is the density of states. Let me write it here. Z of E dash is nothing but gamma times root E dash, right? So this is the constant. So gamma we are taking as 1 by 2 pi square and 2m by h cross square. And remember, as we are dealing with the hole inside a valence band, this m will be equivalent to mh star, right? So we are talking about effective mass of electron. So this is going to be effective mass of electron, sorry, hole. So as we are dealing with valence band holes, it is going to be effective mass of hole. In earlier case, we called it as ME star, which was the effective mass of electron in conduction band. Okay. So with this modification, Z of E dash is going to be gamma times, gamma I'll substitute at the end, gamma times root E dash. With E dash, I know I can write this clearly here, E dash plus E is equal to EV, or if you combine this, you can write this E dash as EV minus E, right? So in place of E dash, you could directly write EV minus E. So I'm writing it here, or I'll write the square root as EV minus E whole power 1 by 2, right? So this is the Z of E, and D is there. And the third one is probability of hole. Please recall this green highlighted term was what we have calculated as 1 minus f of E. So the probability of hole is nothing but, which is 1 minus f of E, right? So 1 minus f of E is probability of hole. So therefore, this probability we can directly write as the green highlighted one. So that is just exponential of E minus EF divided by KBT, right? So I won't be using this. So this is the expression. Now our job is to simplify this. Last time we did, in a similar manner we are going to proceed. So once again here I take this approximation. So EV minus E, substitution, integration by substitution method, divided by KBT. This I am calling as some Y, right? And I'll do one manipulation here. See, this is actually running from 0 to EV, and I want to make the integral to look like a gamma function. So in order to make it look like a gamma function, what I have to do is I must extend one of the limit to infinity. One should be 0, another should be infinity, right? So I cannot change this EV to 0 or infinity. I'll just focus my attention on this one. Now what am I doing is I will just make this 0 to minus infinity. Why minus infinity? How can you make that limit change? Please remember, as we are talking about the energy, so this is the lowest possible energy, and if you make this energy to minus infinity, what happens? Well, we have this probability term. What happens to this exponent when e tends to minus infinity? Is it not e power minus infinity 0? E power minus infinity 0. So however big the term may be, this is simply dropping to 0. It means even if I extend the integral below this 0 till minus infinity, there is no contribution because it's exponent of minus e. I mean, this is e and all values of e are going to be negative for 0 to minus infinity. And hence, this term is a quickly dying out term and hence the contribution will be 0, right? So probability function will take care of everything and hence for mathematical simplicity, I can extend this integral from 0 to minus infinity without making any alternation, without making any magnitude change, right? Only limit is being extended, but there is no magnitude change. So I'm going to extend it to minus infinity. Now let me substitute as I'm changing a variable. So I have to differentiate here as the variable here is e and this is y. So let me differentiate this. It is going to be ev is a constant with respect to differentiation. So ev dies out and it is minus de and kbt is a constant. So it is just kbt constant. So I have simply take a derivative, took a derivative here d of this. ev is gone. E is derivative is minus de and kbt is a constant. This equivalent to other side dy, right? Or equally you can write dy is equal to, or equally you can write de is equal to minus kbt dy. Please keep this relation. We'll be needing it. So wherever you get de, just you put this term minus kbt dy. That is first substitution. And second one, I am going to change the upper and lower limits because I am going to change the variables. So upper and lower limit also I have to check. When you put upper limit EV in this in place of E, so EV minus EV is 0, so Y becomes 0. So upper limit for Y is going to be 0. And in the lower limit case, when I substitute minus infinity for minus E, see this is minus E, so in place of E if I write minus infinity, minus into minus becomes plus, so this is going to be infinity divided by kbt, which is once again infinity, plus infinity. So the lower limit of Y becomes plus infinity, upper limit of Y becomes 0. Let me substitute that. So I hope you understand this. I can use this portion, I can erase this. Please pause the video. Right. So the upper limit is equal to EV minus EV divided by KBT, which is 0, and lower limit is equal to EV minus of minus infinity divided by KBT, it is plus infinity. So upper and lower limits are now obtained, and half of the integral is now looking like a gamma function. You can clearly see the limits are now 0 to infinity. Of course, infinity to 0, you can swap the integral later, but it is something looking like the gamma function with appropriate limits. The remaining terms we have to manipulate now. So let me put everything back here. So my p is going to be integral running from infinity to 0 gamma. Anyway, gamma is a constant, so I can pull it outside because it doesn't depend on the integration. And EV minus E. As I have substituted EV minus E like this, so EV minus E is nothing but KBT power Y. Sorry, KBT Y power 1 by 2. So this is going to be KBT power 1 by 2. I am writing it intentionally. And this is going to be Y power 1 by 2. So this term is gone. In place of dE, I can write minus kBt into dy. And after this, we have only one term left over, which is exponential of E minus EF by kBt. So in place of E minus EF, what I can write is, as I know, E is going to be replaced with, let me write E here. So it is going to be, let me write it here. So EV minus E is going to be Y kBt, or if you want E is going to be EV minus Y kBt, right? So we'll substitute in E place we substitute EV minus Y kBt. So E, which is EV minus Y kBt minus EF divided by kBt. See, I can write this as EV minus EF by kBt, one term, minus Y kBt by kBt, which is minus Y. So this exponent only, this term can be written as exponential of EV minus EF divided by kBt, which is one term, into exponential of minus Y, right? So if you substitute this here, it just looks like a gamma function. So I'll erase this portion and I'll use the same. Okay, so if I substitute it here, P is going to be gamma, and one more simplification, this is kBt power 1 by 2 minus kBt. So this becomes kBt power 3 by 2 with negative sign. So I'll write this as gamma with negative sign into kBt power 3 by 2. This is one thing, minus k, and y power 1 by 2 is left over. Also, please take a look at this term, as this is the exponent. Exponential of EV minus EF by kBt is also a constant with respect to integration. So I can write this also separately, exponential of EV minus EF divided by kBt, this term, into whatever that is left over is this y power 1 by 2 and then dy and then exponential of y. Everything is y terms. So I'll write this integral separately as integral minus infinity to 0. Of course, there is a negative sign. Y power 1 by 2. I'll write it as y power 3 by 2 minus 1 in order to look like gamma function into e power minus y dy. It is almost looking like a gamma function with only swapped interval of limits. See, this is a minus sign. So if you want to send this minus sign inside, you can simply swap these intervals. So if you want to write this integral without minus sign, you can write it as from 0 to infinity, because minus sign is there, right? So minus sign simply alters the upper and lower limit. So after doing that, what I can get is gamma times of kBt power 3 by 2, this is a constant, into exponential of EV minus EF by kBt, this is another constant, into, let me erase this lower portion, I'm going to erase this. So this term multiplied by, I am writing this integral here, don't get confused. So that integral will be from 0 to infinity. I have swapped the limits, minus sign gone, so interchange the limits. So e power minus y power 3 by 2 minus 1 dy. So this particular integral is what you call as gamma 3 by 2. And you know gamma 3 by 2 can be written as gamma 1 by 2 plus 1. Gamma n plus 1 is nothing but n gamma n. N gamma n means half into gamma half. And you know gamma half, it's a constant which is root pi. It's a standard value. So gamma half is root pi and hence the value is just root pi divided by 2. So the whole integral of this gamma function is just giving you root pi by 2. I'm going to erase this portion also. So finally, after substituting all, we get P is equal to, this is root pi by 2, remaining thing is constant. So gamma, let me write gamma here, it is available readily, 2 pi square into 2m h star, which is whole, divided by h cross square whole power 3 by 2 into kbt power 3 by 2 and only one constant, which is root pi by 2. This entire term along with an exponential of this term EV minus EF divided by KBT. So keep it aside. And we have already done this. So by making manipulation, h cross square can be written as h square by 4 pi square, or you can write it as h by 2 pi whole square. And if you send the 2 pi to the numerator, it is 2 pi whole square power 3 by 2, which is nothing but 2 pi whole cube. 2 pi whole cube is 8 pi cube, and 8 pi cube, this pi square will cancel. It is going to be 8 pi, and 2 is there, another 2 is there. So 8 pi divided by 4, which is just 2 pi. So after cancelling all the terms, it is going to be 2 pi, and there is a root pi here, 2 pi root pi into 2m h star by h square. There is no h cross square, h square whole power 3 by 2, and this kbt also is having 3 by 2. That's all. So pi root pi is actually pi power 3 by 2. This is power 3 by 2. This is power 3 by 2. So all of them can be combined and can be written as 2 into, I am not writing the exponent term. This term is also there here, into 2 pi mh star kbt divided by h square whole power 3 by 2, right? Into exponential of EV minus EF by kBT. So this is the expression for number of holes inside valence band of an intrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic. Please pay attention. This is intrinsic only. Now, we can also simplify this just like whatever we did for the holes case, electrons case. We can write this as NV exponential of EV minus EF divided by KBT, where what is this NV? NV is the effective number of holes inside the valence band, and that NV is just this coefficient, this bracket term, 2 into 2 pi mh star kBT by h square whole power 3 by 2. This term is what you call as NV, right? Now we got the NV, we got the NC, which is the conduction band. This we have done in the previous class. So let me recapitulate all the things, and I'm going to make some more manipulations, right? So I'll conclude here and I'll make a move to the next video. Thank you.